So our goal for today's lesson is to find the area of this rectangle that you see on the screen. We have here a 2" by 3" rectangle, and when we talk about finding the area, we're looking to see how many of these squares are going to fit in that rectangle. Now, each square is in this rectangle is going to be a 1" by 1" square. So we're really trying to find something called square inches. How many square inches fit in this rectangle? Well, I know I can go ahead and draw one of those squares right here, and that's going to be one of our square inches. And we can draw another of those square inches right here. So right now I have 2 square inches that I know for sure is going to fit in this rectangle. And I know it works out because this is a 2" width right here, and this is 1" right here, and then the second inch over here. I can go ahead and continue that trend. I know that we can keep going and draw another square inch here and another square inch here. So right now we have 4 square inches that we went ahead and drew in. I can get another one right here and another one right here. So we have a total of 6 square inches. And there's another way we can write this. We could just write as 6 inches squared if we're feeling a little bit lazier. Now let's go ahead and try this with another rectangle, and this is going to be a 4" by 5" rectangle. Now the process is going to be starting to look a little bit tedious. It's going to look like it's going to be a lot of work, but I know with 4 inches I can definitely have at the very minimum 4 rows, because I know that this right here is 1", 2", 3", 4". By that same idea, we know that we can make 5 columns. So we have our first column here, our second column, our third column, and then our fourth and fifth column. So we can now count it up and see how many of those square inches we made. And it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I know each row is going to have the same amount. So this is going to be 5, 10, 15, 20. So we know that in a 4 by 5 rectangle, we have 20 square inches, or 20 inches squared. Now let's take a look using this last rectangle down here, and let's say that this is a 8 by 10 rectangle. And we're not going to call it inches this time, we're just going to call it 8 units by 10 units. There's no world where I want to sit there and draw out 8 rows and then 10 columns, because it's starting to look like a lot of work. So what we want to do is be able to find a relationship between the numbers that we used before to find our area. So going by this, we know that we had a 2" by 3" rectangle, and it gave us 6 inches squared. We know here we had a 4" by 5" rectangle, and it gave us 20 inches squared. Only one operator is going to help us get all of those numbers, and if you thought about it, it's actually just going to be times. So with that same idea, we can take 8 units and multiply it by 10 units, and that's going to give us an area of 80 units squared. So our generalization for today's lesson is going to be the area of any rectangle is going to be the length times the width. So our length times our width, 10 times 8 is 80. So we know there's 80 in there. 5 times 4, we knew there was 20. And then 3 times 2, we knew there was 6.